Hey, today OpenAI released GPT-OSS, their first open source model since GPT-2, and you won't believe how strong it is. Oh, and yeah, for the environment, they happened to catch me on a time when I was out doing other things, so sorry for the environment. Let's just jump into the computer and let's figure out exactly what's so special about an open weight model and why it might really change some things. Okay, so I want to go through the whole idea of what is so exciting about this GPT-OSS. Now, OSS, open source software, if you're not aware of what that's about, this is full open source. This is Apache 2.0 license. And Apache 2.0 license, if you're not aware of that, kind of allows people to edit, to modify things, to use it, to redistribute it, even in commercial environments. But it really creates a very, very permissive license to allow teams to do whatever they see fit with this going forward. And let me put a very fine point on this. These models, especially the 120 billion parameter one, is essentially as powerful as O3 is today. It's not really quite there. We'll look at some of the numbers in just a second, but I will say that my experience with the performance of it and what they're reporting really does seem to represent that these models are highly performant. Sam Altman mentioned that it was a model that's as performant as O3 Mini or O4 Mini, and I believe that to be true as well. I think that at the very least, that seems like a low watermark. Some of the metrics seem to be indicating higher than that, but essentially we're in the O3 zone. So let's go in and take a look at the announcement itself. So if you go to OpenAI, you'll be able to see their announcement for GPT-OSS. At the top, they have a link here for exploring it on Hugging Face. So if you want to kind of kick the tires on this, you can pass by Hugging Face yourself. But what we're going to do, because this thing says that it should be able to run on consumer grade hardware, and my laptop's pretty powerful, but it is definitely still consumer grade hardware, I'm going to try to run this at the end of this to see how it actually performs. So I'm not going to go to the Hugging Face. I'll let you do that one if you see that as an interest. I just kind of want to show you the different aspects that they're talking about what they're releasing. Their concept is to really making this deployable on consumer hardware, and it delivers the results of the O3 Mini model with many of the common benchmarks with just 16 gigs of memory. And we're really talking about the small model. So when we say the O3 Mini model, O3 Mini's been out for a while. Nobody would say it's the most performant, but it is very performant. It is an excellent mini model. And you can do this with 16 gigs of memory. That's the thing we're going to try. We'll see. We'll put that to the test. But it's got chain of thought reasoning. So it's really a reasoning model, essentially. It's one of these models that you'll see goes through the process of considering things. We want to take a look at a couple of these charts. So we will say these very light blue, almost nearly white, is the large model. The middle blue here is the 20 or smaller model. And then you will see O3 and O4 is the way that these are typically laid out. And they have O3 with tools, O4 with tools, and then O3 without, O3 Mini without tools, O4 Mini and O3 Mini both. So you can see that this model here, this is the large model with tools, is really on the order of O3 with tools. It's extremely close. And that's just fascinating. Even the 20 billion parameter model with tools is extremely close to that as well. Now, we're talking about code forces, so this is competition code experience, but basically the coding aspect of the model. And this kind of holds across many of these charts. The devil's in the details. So I say, let's give it a shot. Let's kick the tires ourselves. I'll show you the steps that I took. Here's how you can do this yourself. If you go to LM Studio or even Ollama or something like that, these are systems that allow you, when you install them on your machine, it's just a piece of software that you can install on your machine, and it'll host models. So as you download a model from the internet, it will, as you kind of start LM Studio and tell it to mount this model, put the model in memory basically, so that you can pose questions to it and it can interpolate the answers and present them in a UI. We will see this in a second. So all you have to do is download this for your machine, install it. Once you get that installed, you'll be able to go in and select the open source model, the GPT-OSS model. And that is about 60 gigs of download. So it takes a bit to download, it takes some time, but it also takes some hard drive space. This is what LM Studio looks like. Once you execute it, you run it, comes into this, and you can go into the model selector and pick the model that you're looking for. If you're looking for GPT-OSS, you can go here and then you'll download it and then use it as a new chat. So So when you select this, okay. And so now that we have the model loaded up here, let's ask it, I believe you're GPT-OSS 20B and we're released today. And it comes back and says, I'm actually powered by OpenAI's GPT-4 architecture, not that model. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. So you can tell just by asking it, of course, the question that it's actually built off of the GPT-4 training runs, and it doesn't know that it's the GPT-OSS 20 billion model. So that's not surprising because its information will have stopped far before this model was actually probably even named. But so what we can do is we can give it an MCP. And so I came out to DuckDuckGo. Here you can see from Nick Clyde, there is an MCP version for DuckDuckGo. All you have to do is clone this repo and then come UV-pip install it. They give you a very simple string that you're to put into your configuration file. I'll show you how to do that. If you're in this plug, you can hit install, hit edit MCP, and then you'll just drop that exact string right here. And it just is a list of all the MCP servers. It's the same as Claude Desktop if you've played with any of this. The nice thing about it is it kind of shows that it's got sophisticated tool calling. It can integrate directly with MCP services, all of these other things. So what I can say is check the internet. I'm sure this is you. And it's going and right now starting that MCP server. So it's going to take a second and it comes back and it says, I'm actually ChatGPT model built on GPT-4 architecture, not the newly released, but it now knows about this model, which is interesting. So let's say, tell me about this new model. Here are the most exciting aspects of the new released GPT-OSS 20 billion. And you can see it's open weight, Apache 2.0 license, 21 billion parameters with 3 billion active parameters, low latency, low inference, built for reasoning. So it's really got this whole write-up. And of course, it's pulling that through the MCP. So that's cool. But how about if we start a new conversation and do the normal, can you write a single page HTML Tetris game? All right, and here it is after 0.03 seconds of thinking. And maybe it's worth me pointing out how fast this really is. The experience I'm having here is excellent. Like this is and this machine is not struggling to run it, but at the same time, it's kind of at the limit of what this machine's comfortable doing, but it is fantastic with the way that it performs. I can only imagine installing this and even the bigger model on things that can handle it because they're so performant, the mixture of expert experience and the other things that they're doing to try to keep the speeds low and the cost of usage low. It really is a great model to use. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to grab this, jump over into Cursor, build this out, and then we can run it. Okay. So let's run this and we say, oh no, does it work? It works. All right, so excellent. That is the full example of this new GPT-OSS running. Easy size to imagine using. This model is very exciting, mostly for the open source nature of it. It is a super performant model. And I one more time will say, if today they released basically O3 open source, the thing they were selling yesterday, what are they going to do tomorrow? Okay, so that's it for today's announcement. So they said that they were going to release other things this week. Very, very exciting. I know we have a couple things coming. Maybe there's more than just one more thing coming. That would be surprising, but really exciting. Look, this open source model is really exciting. I don't want to lose that thread. That's a really exciting moment that we have an incredibly powerful model out there. Now you have to have a pretty good machine, as we saw, to be able to run it at its full strength, but even at its lower weight, at the 20 billion parameter, it was really performant and actually quite a bit of fun to play with. I highly advise getting LM Studio and giving it a shot yourself if you have a chance, or if you have a machine that can run it. And the idea of running this on a phone? Oh, okay. I want to see that. Somebody got that? Please share that video with me. In any case, I absolutely will be covering the next things that they announced this week. It's Christmas in August. I'll take it. All right. Subscribe to see those future videos. They're coming soon as far as we understand it. Thanks for coming along for the ride on this one. Sorry about the spooky environment, and I'll see you in the next one.